Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it's Super here and welcome to another Mortal Kombat 1 video. This one is going to be something a little bit different compared to my online videos. This is more going to be a review of the first batch of DLC characters that has come to Mortal Kombat 1, that being Omni-Man as a main character and Lord Tremor as a cameo. The first two DLC characters have been out. Well, Tremor's been out for about a week. No, a little bit less than a week, but we've already figured out a lot about this cameo. And Omni-Man has been out for around 2 weeks. So we have a pretty good idea of how these characters play, what's good about them, what's bad about them, and am I excited and optimistic based on the first two characters about the future of Mortal Kombat 1 with Quan Chi next, then Peacemaker, then I think it's Ermac, then Takeda, and then Homelander? Or it might be, I know Peacemaker is after Quan Chi, but then after that, I forgot. I think Takeda's actually last. I think it's Ermac, then Peacemaker, then Takeda last. So leave a like on the video for this, just spontaneous review. I was just playing with Omni-Man and I was like, this character's so sick. So you guys know what I'm going to have to say about Omni-Man. But when Omni-Man first came out, it's funny because myself and a lot of people, the first day, we didn't really find a lot of optimal damage, right? But 4 days after, not even like the next day or 2 days after, a lot of people were finding out that you could do the dive bomb from the ground and have the opponent still bounce. That's the beautiful thing about these games like MK11, hell, not MK11, I apologize for that. MK1, that opened up the game so much to player creativity that, man, people find the craziest things. I don't know how the hell somebody found, some of those dive bomb combos, but I'm like, let me practice them and let me try to master this with Scorpion. And I was actually able to find out a lot of crazy damage with Omni-Man and Scorpion, man. 48% meterless, guys. It's crazy. Not only that, but I definitely think that NetherRealm took a lot of time to give something to Omni-Man fans that they deserve. I think Omni-Man is an amazing addition to Mortal Kombat 1. Surprisingly enough, I actually don't think he's like crazy top tier, which is surprising because a lot of times when NetherRealm releases a DLC character, they're S tier right away. Don't get me wrong, Omni-Man is really good. Don't get me wrong. He has a lot of tools that make him hard to fight, especially with some cameos like Kung Lao. But he's definitely not at the top tier rank. There's no way that he's up there with Johnny Cage, Kenshi. Who else did I have in my top tier? I think Rain is still crazy good. Sindel, definitely not at that level, but he's like right below. I will probably put him at my A tier. He has a lot of tools that make him really good, and I just think overall he's such a well done character. So many references to the show, to the comic book, and if the creator of Omni-Man is happy with the character, the fans are going to be happy with the character. I haven't been too familiar with Omni-Man. I did watch season 1. I haven't watched season 2. But even myself that doesn't have that much of an attachment to the character, even though I watched it, I think he's awesome, by the way. I think he's an amazing character. But the attachment isn't there yet because I haven't watched, I haven't watched for long and I haven't watched season 2. But even myself, I'm like, oh my God, that reference is so sick. I love that. Think. There's just so many cool little Easter egg and references to the show that it really has me excited for when Homelander comes out because I am attached to Homelander. The Boys is an insanely amazing creation, and I can't wait to see Homelander. But just sticking with Omni-Man here, having the ability to do the Viltrum stance, the meter burn version, and avoid all physical attacks except for lows, and then the normal one, all projectiles. Well, the meter burn one avoids projectiles too, but it feels so satisfying whenever you do the Viltrum stance into your opponent, like doing attacks. You do a Viltrum stance, it avoids everything, and you get a punish. There is no better feeling than hitting somebody with that Ultra Instinct with Omni-Man. So I definitely give Omni-Man an A plus for NetherRealm Studios. I am really, I'm like looking forward to Quan Chi even more now. Like, obviously I love Quan Chi, but I'm looking forward to him even more now because of how amazing they made Omni-Man. 48% combo right there. It could have been meterless, but I decided to spend the bar of meter just to make sure that the choke hit. So Omni-Man, I couldn't have asked for a better representation of the character. Really, really amazing. Does crazy damage now that, we figured out a lot of his combo potentials and his best routes. He works well with pretty much any cameo, to be honest. You can use any cameo with Omni-Man and do well. He's just very solid, very fun to play, and it makes me even more excited for the future main characters in MK1, especially when it comes to my boy Ermac and, of course, Homelander. So I can't wait. Omni-Man, A+ NetherRealm. Amazing job. Now let's talk about Tremor, because I think Tremor is the more interesting one, mostly because we haven't had enough time to really figure out the best things that Tremor could do with each individual characters. There's some obvious ones, like you guys have seen me put in work with Sub-Zero and Tremor because of the fact that Sub-Zero could keep you standing, could get could do a ambush assist, Tremor low earthquake, and then get a hard to block low overhead setup. And there is low to overhead or like hard to block protection in this game, meaning that if the low hits very close to the overhead or vice versa, it'll just automatically block for you. They'll turn into mids. So there is a built-in protection for like really hard to block setups, but you could change up your timing with Sub-Zero in order to not have that protection be activated. So Tremor came into Mortal Kombat 1 and definitely is changing things up because he just completely took over Darius' spot. Darius is pretty much, I don't want to say this, but a useless cameo when it comes to Reiko and the Darius combination that was so popular. And the reason I say that is because Tremor cools down so much faster and has so much more utility to help a character like Reiko, who was pretty much the only one that was using Darius as an assist. And it makes me sad because I think Darius has a lot of potential to be like an amazingly cool assist, especially with some of the setups that you could get with him. I think he deserves better. I think his cooldown needs to just be changed. Like, I think every single one of his like cameo setups costs the entire bar of meter, right? The only thing that doesn't is the swing. Everything else costs his entire cameo bar. I think Darius deserves a lot better, and I think he will get buffed coming up here in the next couple of patches or whenever they decide to buff some characters, because Tremor literally came in, took that spot, and ran with it, because I believe Reiko and Tremor are a better combination than Reiko and Darius, which was pretty much the only team that Darius like really fit in really well with. So not only that, but I think Tremor does really well with a lot of other cameos or a lot of other characters. He is definitely by far the most interesting cameo that is in Mortal Kombat 1, because he has 3 variations and each of them have their unique specialties. The one that I will say is underwhelming is Crystalline Tremor, because everyone, including myself, was so paranoid and scared about this specific variation. But the armor is ass. There are only a specific amount of combo strings where you have armor up and then you get hit by the last attack and you're able to punish. I thought there was going to be more of that. And I know that, I had a little PTSD when I saw that crystalline armor up. But to be honest, I thought it was going to be like MKX, where it's just one hit. But in this game, it's more like, if you guys played Injustice 2, Hellboy had his trait where he activated his trait. He got like infinite hits. Like, it wasn't really infinite armor. Like, this isn't really infinite armor. It's just you get like armor where you absorb attacks and you don't really go into a hit stun animation that knocks you down, but it's not really armor. So kind of like Doomsday from Injustice 1, you get that kind of trait, but it's not as good. If it would have been like Mortal Kombat X, where it's just one hit and it explodes, it would have been so much better, because you would have been able to recover from that explosion of the crystalline and then punish some moves that might not be punishable, like you could in MKX. Maybe they thought that was going to be too strong, but I thought that's how it was going to be. But the fact that it wasn't leaves crystalline as the disappointing variation out of all of them. The only thing that it has going for it is the punch. It's actually a pretty good reversal and wake up attack for anyone who's using Tremor as a cameo. But other than that, you have so much combo potential with ambush assist, and you have so much combo potential with the upwards punch, especially with characters that need that. For example, Sub-Zero can make his overhead low safe. Scorpion can make his knee actually like a true. I don't think it's a true block string, but it makes it so where I think it's forward 3, right, for Scorpion, or is it forward 4? I think it's forward 3 for Scorpion. It makes his forward 3 knee at least not duckable, and it's a safe launcher for Scorpion, which I think he deserves to have no matter what as a character. But I think where he really shines is some of the harder block setups. So I mean, that I love any sort of hard block setups. I like all the dirt. So I'm really loving Tremor. I think the character that I've bonded with the most is Sub-Zero and Tremor, as far as that combination. I think Sub-Zero and Tremor have a lot of potential with the mix-ups and different things that you could do. But as you guys have seen, Tremor and Omni-Man, and I'm getting some good damage. It keeps my forward 3 safe. And it also gives me, my forward 4-1. I could cancel it into my my up punch if I want to. I could get off my stand 1 punish. I could pretty much see right there, I'm using the crystalline armor to keep myself, quote unquote safe, because I don't really go into hit stun. But other than like some specific situations, it's not really gonna get you much. But I get Tremor as well in A+. I feel like these two characters were a perfect start for Mortal Kombat 1's DLC season, because, like I said, Tremor is by far the most interesting cameo in the game, and I feel like Omni-Man was just done perfectly well. Really good representation of the character, and I'm looking forward to the future characters that are going to be coming with Quan Chi, Peacemaker, Ermac, Takeda, and Homelander. Had a little brain fart there for a second. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching today's video. My review of both characters is that they're amazing, and I give them an A+. It's a great start to the season. Kombat Pack 1. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.